this is what it's all about. Sod your sunshine. I had to guess what that is. Anyway, well, welcome to today's walk. This is a very popular place, so as I walk up to it, I guess most of you will know what this is. If you don't, then check it out. We'll just come over and you'll probably see why it's called what it is. So let's just walk down here. And then yeah, so here we are. Most of you know what this is called, Surprise View. So this is just outside Hathersage. Some lovely views. So today's walk is my first walk since having a pulmonary embolism about 5 weeks ago. Felt a bit unwell and I was like, you know, sleep it off. Maybe go for a pint, see if that sorts it out. Luckily my better half was quite insistent that this wasn't right, so I had a lot of symptoms of a heart attack, ended up in A&E, and luckily it was a relatively small one, and now I'm on blood thinners for life potentially, because they can't see any reason why I would have it. Nothing in my lifestyle, surprisingly, no recent events that would have caused it, so they tend to err on the side of caution. Anyway, I'm back out today, first walk for 5 weeks. Weather's not too bad, we're just below the cloud base by the looks of it. It was in cloud earlier when I came up this way to drop somebody off at the station, but yeah, you've got some fantastic views all the way down the Oak Valley, over towards Abney there. You've got Shatton Moor in the background, you can see the Great Ridge. You've got Win Hill and Lewes Hill. Someone commented the other day, I called it Lewes Hill. I know full well it's called Lewes Hill, but sometimes I just forget and it just comes off the tongue a bit like that. So and then you've got the reservoirs and the dip there, you've got Bamford Edge, and then we're going up Millstone Edge here over to some sort of Neolithic and Bronze Age sort of sites. In the distance through the valley you can see Kinder Scout, which looks like that is in the cloud layer, or skimming in and out of it. So yeah, anyway, that's today's walk. I'm going to crack on here now towards Millstone Edge and see how we go, and hopefully it's about 5 miles, so I'm hoping that that shouldn't be too dramatic for me. I've been doing sort of short walks around the village after work and stuff, trying to sort of build my strength up. They reckon the blood clots should have gone now. It's just a case of building my fitness back up slowly. I do get a bit breathless still, but anyway, we're going to head off up here. So here we are on Millstone Edge. Stunning. We're going to head over here to Over Owler Tor and then carry on towards Winyards Nick. But yeah, look at this, fabulous scenery. Might expect a bit of rain later, but yeah, stunning. Get some pictures and the like. I can feel a big difference. I'm not going to harp on about it too much because you've heard me post on Facebook about it, but yeah, I've just come up there and that's not a particularly steep ascent or anything, and do feel a bit out of breath. Normally what I would have done if I got up Jacob's Ladder or something, so yeah, something definitely going on there. It's going to take a while to recover, I think, but you can see over there towards the upper edges now, over towards Stanage, and then Bamford in the distance and Derbyshire Edge over there. So yeah, not too busy today with it being a bit lousy weather, which is good. The bikes are out. So yeah, we're going to head over here now. Well, here we are. way around you twat. Here we are, Over Owler Tor. This is a cracking spot. We're doing alright for the weather, some cracking light down there, just took a few pictures. I'll take a few more here. Bit of a shout out to a guy called Paul Dickinson I just met. He said, I know you from Facebook on your group. So I just met him, he was doing a similar walk. So we walked along Millstone Edge and up to here a bit, and he's gone a separate way now. So yeah, we're going to crack on now over to Winyards Nick. Classic shot from Over Owler Tor over towards, you've got Higger Tor here, and that place there is where we're heading in a bit. This is Derbyshire Edge across here. It's a nice walk, so yeah, stunning. And then you've got the Hope Valley over there. Superb. Not feeling too bad now I'm on the flat. We've got to climb that in a bit though, but we should be alright. So let's crack on. So here we are, this is Winyards Nick. Now, this is a prehistoric settlement. So, distributed all around this area, there are about 20 cairns, some of which possibly may well be burial cairns going back from Neolithic right up to the Bronze Age. So, that plus the land has been quite cleared, as you can see. All leads them to believe that this is a settlement from prehistoric times, probably linked to this object over here, which I'll talk about when I get there. So this area is quite sort of, the whole area really is quite busy during that sort of period, Neolithic, Bronze Age and Iron Age. But this is actually a settlement where they did some farming, so the land has been cleared, there's around 20 cairns on it, and there's also some stone lines that sort of separate areas of the land. So you can see this dip here, you can see that the land has been sort of, you know, something's been done with it. A lot of the cairns and burial stones are all in the heather, but you can occasionally see them. But so that's really interesting. I'll put some more information up about it, but that is it. This is basically Winyards Nick. So a nick is normally like a cleft in the land, you know, like Mam Nick, so between these sort of hills, so you can walk down that way or carry on that way over towards this area. I won't say too much about this till we get there, I don't want to ruin it, but we're going to head off here around the edge of Higger Tor and then back over Higger Tor and across here, back down towards Owler Tor as a plan. But some stunning views across the Hope Valley there. You can see some rain and cloud coming in over towards Castleton and the Great Ridge and Kinder in the background. But so far we're avoiding it. It was meant to rain this afternoon, but I think so far we're avoiding it, but you can see how low the cloud is. So I'm just going to take a few pictures and then I'll crack on. This is the Sheepfold at the bottom of Higger Tor. It's absolutely huge. There's a few sheep in there, and I think there's some cattle at the far end, but that's what you call a sheepfold. Anyway, I shouldn't have opened my mouth about the rain. It's starting to come in now, so we'll just take some stills here, and then we're going to head off around the bottom of Higger Tor, around there, and then come back over the top. So yeah, you can see it now starting to come in. I opened my mouth too soon, hopefully it's just a shower. Anyway, we're all prepared, which is the main thing, so let's crack on. See the size of that sheepfold now. Huge. That's where we've come from. That's sort of showery now, sort of just passing through drizzly sort of things. We're headed up here. This is Higger Tor. Not sure on why it's called Higger Tor, but I'll do some digging and maybe if I can find any origins of it, I'll do that. So we're just going to head up just over here. Sometimes I prefer it when the weather's like this, to be honest. Less people. Being ginger, the sun is not my friend. So, and having had my partner who have issues with melanoma, despite not being a sunbather or anything, it does make you wonder, doesn't it? So, anyway, we're going to crack on up here. Still coming in. There's a bit of a blob on there. That's Callow Bank here. Stanage Edge in the background where we were a while back, and when we went looking for Robin Hood's cave, which was quite good. You can see down there into Hathersage. This is actually Hathersage Moor over here. So anyway, we're going to follow this path which follows along the road, and then we'll double back over Higger Tor and then head back down towards where we started. Catch a few more interesting sights while we're there. And yeah, not too bad. Getting a bit breathless now and again, especially on the inclines. But I don't know, it's just training now, isn't it? It's got to keep building yourself up. Well, I am due to go on a long haul flight next week to Thailand, so the doctor said it's okay as long as I wear my sexy compression stockings, which I've had to wear now every day, all day. You need the flipping strength for the Incredible Hulk to get them damn things on, I tell you. Anyway, if it reduces the chances of getting another one, small price to pay. Yeah, and I'll be out for 2 weeks, so probably won't be posting any walking videos. Might post the odd clip from the holiday, I don't know yet. It is a holiday, so I do need some time away. But what I'll do is probably schedule some shorts and stuff on the old YouTube channel and the Facebook page while I'm away, so at least some stuff's keeping on getting posted. That's what it's all about, consistency. But yeah, it's really good to meet Paul earlier. First of my fellows I've ever met on a walk so far. But he's a pleasant chap. Been through the mill a bit himself, I think. I won't say too much, it's personal, but we've both sort of been through the mill a bit lately, and both out on one of our first walks, getting back into it, so that's always good. Walking's good for you, helps you recuperate. It's good for you mentally as well as physically, I find. But yeah, we're going to head, I think, up there now. I'll check the map. I think there's a footpath sign, you can see it on the hill. I think that's where I double back over here then. So I'll catch up with you in a bit. Never pet hate of mine. There's a fucking path here with steps. Why do you have to walk down there? Use the path that's been made for you. Probably mountain bikers, probably. But anyway, yeah, stick to the paths. Prevents erosion. Just look at that, it's just been eroded away there. Got Burbage Edge. Then cars in the distance. That's Burbage Brook, if I remember rightly. That's quite good when it's in full spate. There's a bridge you can go right down, look through, and that's quite cool. We're heading into the rain now, as you can see. So we're headed up here to the top of Higger Tor. Look at that. Whoa, that's superb. We're just below, just touching on the cloud base there. That looks almost, that will make a good pitch. I'm going to risk getting a camera out, I think. Let's look at that. That's why you come out walking in bad weather. We're just skimming the clouds here. You see it coming in towards us. Superb. Just wipe that. Always use the back of your fingers. Old motorcycling trick, that. God, look at that. I'll go over here and get my sausage roll in a minute. Sausage roll and the cornflake tart. That's what I'm fueled on today. Probably should have bought a coffee, but I neglected to do that. I think instead of getting the camera out, I'll just get some stills off the video. But you can see some clear skies coming in behind. Fantastic, mate. That's why I always like to come out in bad weather. More challenging and a lot more fun. So this is Higger Tor, and where we're heading next is a place called Carl's Wark. I'll tell you about the history when we get there, because there's quite a lot of conjecture about the history of that place. But we'll just get this this shower coming out of the way. Oh, this is superb, mate. It's absolutely superb. You can just see the clouds coming in. They're just literally touching us as they go over. Oh, that'll freshen you up, mate. See it there. That's where we're going to head. I'm going to get some shelter behind these rocks, get a bit of food in me. That's where we came up earlier. So it's a nice little walk there. It's only about 5 miles, not too hard. You can get the surprise view car park. As always, GPX file will be in the Facebook group, and in the YouTube film I always put a detailed description with grid references, so you know if you're on Facebook and you've seen the post, head over there. Look at that. Oh, brilliant, mate. Haha. This is what it's all about. Sod your sunshine. Haha. This is what it's all about. Sod your sunshine. Out of the what's the name of it? Look at the clouds there, just scudding across. We are just in the cloud base. It's great when you're on the edge like this. You get some really cool views, and they'll make some good snapshots. It's sheltered here. This is where I think I'm gonna have a rest before we head down over there. Pick our way down the path there. Superb. Catch up with you when I fill myself up. So here we are, heading up to Carl's Wark. You can see the man-made wall structure there, which is people get very excited about. We came across here, past that Sheepfold again, up around here, along. So it's a quite short walk, a couple of hours tops, but it'll get me back into it. It's probably about the right length I think today. I think any more I've been pushing it. You've got Burbage Edge. That's a lovely walk. You can walk from over by the Fox House that way and park up there and walk around, which is what I've done in the past. But anyway, yeah, Carl's Wark. This has been subject to all sorts of ideas about what it is. Bronze Age, Neolithic, an Iron Age hill fort. One of Arthur's knights allegedly built it. Then there was some supposition that it was Romano-British and even medieval. Now the current state of affairs, or the current views of it, this site has been in use for some time, since the Neolithic period in fact, and this is more than likely an Iron Age hill fort. The one thing that is interesting is there's no sort of evidence of permanent residence in there, so what they suspect is it was probably somewhere where the people who lived in this area would go to if they were under threat or under attack, or possibly it could also be some sort of religious site. but that's the current view. But over the years it's had all sorts of different views, but like I say, current Neolithic area, quite active, and then this is most likely an Iron Age hill fort. I will find out. I'm guessing in the Iron Age they built hill forts, because obviously you can see for miles from them. I believe they also navigated along ridges back in those days, because it's easy to see where you were headed and get a view of what was ahead of you and stuff like that. You know, old paths like the Portway, which goes from Nottingham all the way up to Tor, that took us along quite a lot of ridges, so I suspect that's probably why. But again, I'll find out a bit more, but that would make sense to me. So we'll head up here now and have a good look. Look at that fascinating structure. I reckon, if I remember rightly, Iron Age was around 2,500 BC, so that's about 4,000 years old. I'll double check, it might be 1500 BC, I'll double check, I'll pop it up on the video. My memory's not what it is today. But yeah, look at that, what a fascinating structure. Certainly would have been a good defensive wall back in the day. Can you imagine people hiding behind it with spears and whatever other weapons they had at the time? Anyone trying to get up to them would have been at quite a disadvantage. They've obviously made the most of the local geography. As you can see, it's quite a good earthen ramp, reinforced with rocks. And you'd pretty much see anyone coming for you up here, wouldn't you? It would not be an easy place to attack. In fact, there's a plaque there, having climbed up. Let's go and see what that says. See if it backs up the bullshit I was just coming out with. Let's have a quick look. See what it says about it here. Yeah. Hill fort of a type constructed during the Iron Age, 2000 to 2500 years ago. Probably refortified at the end of the Roman period. About 2 acres. They've got the gritstone boulders in the north and south and a steep slope on the east. And then an earth rampart, which we've just looked at. Obviously respect it. It is a ancient monument. So yeah, Iron Age, about 2,000 to 2,500 years ago. Obviously depends when you put that plaque up. So yeah, before the Romans came here. Well, it looks like the Romans may have fortified it. The Romans were quite active in this area. So yeah, you can just see the natural sort of geology of the area, sort of protected as well. I think we're headed down here now, over towards Owler Tor. Going to cross the road, double back to the car park. But yeah, so all of this would have been like a Neolithic settlement where land's been farmed, probably fairly basic back then, but probably quite sheltered in that dip. So yeah, stunning. We're going to head, I think it's this path I need to follow. I'll just double check on the map and then we'll start to head down there. Again, you can see this bit, this entrance looks man-made there. The rest of it's a sort of natural rampart. But yeah, a pretty good site to defend yourself. You can imagine being out in the fields, you probably have a scout up there to let you know that somebody a bit dubious is coming. You could all head up the hill, arm yourselves, and then yeah, hopefully you'd manage to defend yourself. Life was probably pretty bloody harsh then, I would have thought. The crops wouldn't have been very good. Very basic early wheat and stuff like that. It wasn't particularly like the crops we have in this day and age. So I imagine that life was very hard. Probably average age you lived to for a bloke was probably about 35 or something like that. So we don't know how good we've got it these days. The heather's all dying off now. Anyway, less prattling, more walking. This path is a bit dubious with all these boulders. It's a bit of a boulder field, so I need to watch where I'm stepping. But yeah, not the best idea if I suddenly came out on my first walk and broke my ankle. I do need to keep quite active at the moment, is the recommended advice. Anyway, let's head off down here. Some cows there. Took some pictures. I don't think they're Highland cows, but they certainly have that look about them, so whether they're a mixed breed. Went slightly off the wrong path there, so just found this other one to get me back on track. Got too focused on the cows there. Anyway, I'm gonna head up here, and then we're onto the road in the middle of the Longshaw Estate. So we'll get some views of that. So all this area is part of the Longshaw Estate. Longshaw House is over there. Got a Fox House pub not far. All very popular for walking around here. I'll put a little bit up about the history of that. Didn't really research that too much. I was more interested in the Coles Walk and that. Anyway, carry on through this bracken that's dying off at last, because it's just a beast to get through. So let's continue up here. Back on the path I should be on. So we went all the way along there. Over Owler Tor. Higger Tor's behind here. It's Coles Walk. I should have come down this path. That's the path I'll put on the route, don't worry. And then, like I say, that's Burbage Edge over there. That's a nice circular along Burbage, Higger Tor, back round. That's not a bad run. So we're going to head down here to the road, over the other side, and I believe, a bit of luck, there's apparently a stone circle there. Now that will be Bronze Age and potentially older. That's what they tend to be, that whole sort of culture, which apparently came from Orkney. This whole henge and stone circle type culture. That is well worth a visit. I've been to Orkney, Stones of Brodgar and all that. It's well worth going to. I mean, the history there is just amazing. You got Scapa Flow and the German fleet that was sunk by their own troops. There's all sorts of history there. Well worth a go to Dwarfystone, or yeah, I could go on for ages, but well worth a visit Orkney if you've never been. But that's where all this stone circle cult culture and henges all started from, and then spread. Kestrel there, just swooping through. Saw one earlier on a rock. I think I've got some pictures of it. I just don't know how good they're going to come out, but we'll have to see. Anyway, heading down here now, around that way, not far off done now. Rubbish. That's the first bit of rubbish I've seen all day. To be honest, quite impressed around here. It's not been too bad. We're just going to walk along the road for a little bit, not too much, and then we're going to catch a footpath to the right, just round this bend, just into Yorkshire or Sheffield city bounds here. So we just crossed out of Derbyshire now, still in the Peak District. Let's go around this corner, then there's a footpath. So I'll catch up with you then. Looks like a nice little footpath for a bit of wood. Part of the Longshaw Estate, which is some rich buggers. Well, it's National Trust now, I think, but it would have been at some time, some toffs estate. Anyway, follow this for a while now. Looks nice. Looks old woodland, natural, not full of conifers or anything. There's a nice brook and a bridge here. If you just see through there, you can see like a waterfall. Just come round here, you can probably see it through here. It's probably a good view. That's coming down off a moor, Hathersage moor, wandering down, probably ends up in the, well, that end up in, God knows, Derwent or the Y probably. Anyway, we're going to follow this path for a bit now. I'll catch up with you when we get towards where there's a place called Lawrencefield, which was another settlement, and then there's a stone circle. I think we go off to the right here, so we'll just check the map. I'm still sticking with Outdoor Active, by the way. I reviewed that Higher app, but I'm sticking with this. This looks like an old path. Look, probably slippy as hell too. But it looks like a little nice little fall here. Look at that. Lovely. That time of year now. Brooks are flowing. I'll make a good picture. Look at that. Beautiful. And we're heading up down here. Beautiful that. I think this is Burbage Brook, which certainly feeds into Burbage Brook. Just trying to get the mist. This lens protected shite. A nice little bridge there, and then we're going to head through there into Lawrencefield. But look at that. I bet you'll have dippers on here. It's ideal dipper territory, this. There's a man-made weir thing there. We're going to head up over here, over this hill, into Lawrencefield, a stone circle, and then back up to, I think it's called Owler Tor, and back to the car park at Surprise View. This really has misted up. I'm going to have to try and sort this out. Had it all today. Bright bloody sunshine there. There's some stunning views there over towards Coles Wark, Higger Tor, Derbyshire Edge. Down there's Padley Gorge. I think this is clearing a bit now, hopefully. Just got to follow this path up here now. So this is Lawrencefield. I find out about that. I mean, it's obviously a boulder field. Whether it's anything more than that, I'm not too sure. But there's some odd paths crisscrossing here, so I'm just keeping an eye on the old navigation. We're not far off where we need to be. And then we're going back up there to Owler Tor and back to the car park. Bright sunshine there. Oh well, that's the time of good about this time of year. Autumn, you get so many different seasons in, or times of weather in one day. I think I need to be heading off to the left in a minute. Just watch it here, because there's lots of hidden rocks. But I need to be going left soon. I'll just check, find a way through this lot. Lots of skylarks. Yes, I need to sort of start to fight my way through here, which is a bit dodgy. So just yeah, the birds have all nested and gone now, so not too bad. Head towards that mast, I think is about right. I'm going to turn this off now, because underneath all of this are rocks, holes and the like. Here's a bit of a path. That might take me the right way. To the left here is where I need to go. So looks like somebody's walked through here. See like a bit of a path here, look. Either a sheep trod or keeper's track or just a path made by people trying to find this stone circle the same as me. Anyway, I'll catch up with you when I get there. Can't see with this mist, but there's some deer there. I'm just going to get a picture of them. I can't remember reading. I'm just going to go on the map to where it says the stone circle is. I think this might be the stone that's left. And again, just look at that profile, reflect a landscape along there, and that's that tor there, and then down. So you look, uncanny that, isn't it? I'm going to do that with every stone circle I go now. So this is probably Bronze Age. I will just go down here. On the map it's showing a bit further over that way, but they aren't always accurate on the Ordnance Survey. I'll check the grid reference and check it against that, but we're going to this thing here called Hollow Gate. Now I'll find out about that, because that could be an old road. A lot of these gates were medieval, maybe even earlier. So we'll go on here and see if there is a stone circle where it's pointed out on the map. But that was interesting, that one. It really did look like the outline of the terrain, which was quite common apparently if you saw my video on the one at Winyards Edge. So we're just going to have a wander down here. I think it's over to the left where those deer were. So I'll catch up with you if I find anything. I'm exactly where it says on the map, but there's nothing here. I have a feeling that stone over there is part of it, and that's the only one that's left. No, nothing here at all. Not even hidden in the heather. So head back here, up to Owler Tor, back to the car park. Job was a good one. Well, it was worth a look anyway, but I'm pretty certain I read that that's the only stone that's left. So they aren't always exactly where they say they are on these Ordnance Survey maps. I've had that a few times when I went up on Eam Moor looking for stone circles and barrows. The stone circle was quite a way off on the map indicator, so I suspect that was probably it over there. Certainly had a look of it, didn't it? And the profile of the edge did reflect the profile of the landscape, which again is what they apparently tended to do, or the theory is now. So we're going to walk up Hollow Gate, bob over there, back to the car. If I even bother going up Owler Tor, to be honest. It looks quite busy, so we've got better views from Surprise View and all that, I think. So I think what we'll do is we'll head back up here. There's a gate there right opposite the car park, so that's what we'll do, and I'll do a quick catch up back at the car. Oh, back at the car now. So it's just under 5 miles that was. Nice walk, took in some good views. We started off with Surprise View, met up on the Millstone Edge with Paul Dickinson, who's a Facebook follower, so it's good to speak to him and have a chat. We're both on the rebound from a few health problems, but we're on our way back out walking, which is good. So it's really good to see him. Then I went over to Higger Tor and down to Carl's Walk, the Iron Age fort, then back down over to look for a stone circle in Lawrence Field. I think we found the one surviving stone there, and then back just past Owler Tor back here. I feel like I've walked about 10-12 miles, not 5, so clearly it's going to take me a while to build back up to walking fitness. But as a treat, I'm going to have this bad boy. This is like, if you're diabetic, don't touch that. That is a cornflake tart from the Peveril Bakery. Oh, I'm going to sink my teeth into that and then drive home and probably have a nap. So anyway, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate all the support. We're sort of slowly growing organically and we're doing really well. So again, you know, subscribe, follow, like, comment, interact. That'd be great. And I'll catch up with you on the next walk.